And I saw somebody ask, speaking of Connor's extension, the 2-year, $19 million. They said, "Do you think Najee would take that?"
Connor got an extension.
Yeah, was that Sunday or Saturday they announced it?
Good for him.
2 years for 19. They would say, I was like, I don't think Najee takes 2 for 19. I think that's still a little lower end for him, but I don't hate it.
I think that's around it. I mean, you're talking about
Connor has a lot more touchdowns, but
yeah, you're talking double digits. I mean,
Najee is.
I could see the Steelers offering him that, and I could see Najee maybe wanting to look at the market and someone paying him more. But that's around it, and then you just gotta weigh your options. Do you want to stay here for less? Presumably, we'd be a better organization than the other team he'd be signing for, unless it's a Saquon Barkley type of situation, and you go to an actual good organization. I'm just saying, there's not many like better organizations in the league or organizations that are on par with us in the league. So chances are, it's going to be a lesser team offering you more money.
Yeah.
So what do you want? You want to stay here? Team drafted you?
Or go get that bag. Yeah, it's legit. It's legit, man. How do we feel about that from Steelers' side?
What?
Just Steelers' perspective.
What do you mean?
Because, I mean, the way it sounded was kind of like, hey, man, you could either, take this 8 that we might offer you or go figure it out on your own. Good luck if you get a better organization or not. And I was saying from the Steelers' side, which, like, the thought process with that as well.
Steeler fans, Steeler organization?
Yeah, both.
What's the thought process?
Yeah, both, yeah. Because it's kind of low-key like the James Conner scenario.
I think you're just... Well, Najee's been way more productive here, way more healthy.
1,000%, but I'm saying in the
like
sense
I'm willing
of
to pay
from
Najee
James,
something like that. At this point, if he keeps it up, doesn't get hurt, 2 for 19, I think that'd be a fair offer. That's $10 million basically.
It's not
9.5.
It's less than 10.
9.5, fine, whatever,
Yeah.
but close enough. Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to offer him something like that or something, even in the double digits. I mean, that's what Connor got, so I'm just going
to
off
you
of
right
that.
now. Is James Conner a better running back than Najee Harris?
Depends on what you want. I mean, I do think Connor's a little bit more of a threat in the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little bit more dynamic. Connor's a little bit older, though. So, honestly, I think Najee, with his age and everything, it'd be more wise to pay Najee a little bit more than Connor. I just think in this stage of both of their careers, because of the age and everything. Who's better right now? I think that's like a pick your poison. Maybe I'm a little scarred with what Connor did here with the Steelers, but he's been doing really good with the Cardinals. I would take Najee over Connor, me personally.
Okay. That's what I was trying to figure out. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, if we're viewing Connor as the better player, then it makes sense to say, here, Najee, this should be the deal that we're offering to you. But if we all feel that Najee is the better and younger player, then it's like, yeah, his number should be higher. And that kind of goes back to what we talked about with the Ramondre Stevenson element of it. Do we feel Ramondre is a better player than Najee? Because Ramondre essentially reset the market when he got his deal, paying him at 10 a year. And just from a business standpoint, market standpoint, and in terms of Najee getting his fair market value, it's like, hey, if we think he's better than those two guys, why should he have less money than those two guys?
Well, it also comes down to who else you got to pay. I mean, we got a Pickens extension we're going to be talking about. We got 2 other good running backs on the roster, and Jalen Warren, Cordell Patterson. You just got to look at all the trade-offs.
Who brings more value,
Yeah, look
like,
at all the trade-offs. We're going to have to pay Russ. Yeah. Can you afford to let a Najee walk so you can shore up all the other positions and then draft the running back in maybe like the 2nd or 3rd round and add him to the tandem that we already have in Jalen Warren and Cordell Patterson? So that could also affect the offer. How much does Russ take?
Yeah.
Does he want to keep Najee or not? I mean,
do we have the other scenario of
that's gonna
question? Though, what about the other scenario of do we actually want to pay this receiver when we can pay Najee, who isn't giving us any type of headaches, pay Russ, and then go draft us another receiver? They growing on trees anyways, the way they come out this draft, and now I don't have to pay this cat whatever he might want, plus having to deal with whatever might come with that.
I'm keeping Pickens.
Even though we would all agree it's easier based off how these receivers are coming out to find another Pickens type receiver than it is when we talk about some of these backs, in the sense of when we say Najee, it's not just can you run the football, it's not just can you catch the football, it's not just can you not fumble the football, it's not just can you pass block, it's also are you going to be out there every week as well?
I don't know if it's necessarily easier to replace a receiver of that caliber. You just have to use a really good draft pick to get one.
No, what I'm saying is if I'm drafting in the first round, there are a lot more opportunities to find a receiver that can give me GP's production in year one in the first round than how many running backs are we going to say in the first round give us the same caliber of production that Najee's going to give us.
I think it could be any running back as long as you give him the
because
carries.
we say it all the time. And with Cordell Patterson, he will look more athletic, but his body doesn't sustain. Jalen Warren, he's more explosive, but once again, body doesn't sustain. So are we looking for the moment of it, or are we saying full body of work what Najee brings? Because even with the two backs that you referenced a little while ago about being better than Najee, which we would say they're more athletic than him, how do we say they're better when it's been games they haven't even been able to put a uniform on? You can't even get out there. How are you better than them?
Yeah, but you could literally draft a running back in every round if you wanted to, and then just see which one climbs to the top.
Yeah, we can say that about wide receivers as well.
No, that's way harder to do. Like you can get a legit running back in the 7th round. You get a legit running back 5th round, undrafted. That can put up that type of
we
production.
We do such a great job at drafting wide receivers. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, we
That's
do.
what you said.
We do, but drafting a Pickens, that's a little tougher. Pickens
We're
is
the
a
ones
top
who
5
drafted
receiver.
him. And then we drafted Deontay Johnson before that, who was also a Pro Bowl receiver as well.
But Pickens is a top 5 receiver. Deontay, at his peak, was top 15, top 20.
I mean,
that was 3rd round.
We can agree to disagree on it.
So you'd rather keep Najee than Pickens?
No, I just don't think it's as simple as you make it sound. I think that it actually is a little bit more of nuance in that conversation.
Well, if we're asking the question, Pickens or Najee, I'm keeping Pickens. Yeah. And I'm fine with paying him the extra that comes with paying the receiver.
For sure.
Just because, I think getting a Pickens, that's tough. I mean, you got to be picking in the top 10 to feel good about that, because the guys that are taken in the top 10, I think you're right. I think you can plug and play and replace one of those top guys. You see with Marvin Harrison, you see with Neighbors, those guys are already awesome, really good. Odunze, he's getting there, but I think that's
different too, though.
Yeah, him being a product of the Bears situation,
and you got a young quarterback,
their offense calamity.
Absolutely.
But then, after that, I mean, a lot of these other first-round receivers that get taken late, sometimes that's like a 50-50 shot. 2nd round, same thing, a little bit tougher. Whereas running back, if you got a good situation and the guy is competent, you could get that Najee type of production. But I guess it's not a given that he's going to be competent, but I think it's a lot more likely for a running back, whatever running back you draft, to be competent than getting a top 5, top 10 receiver in the draft like that. Especially with where we're going to be drafting. We're going to have to trade up to get one of those top 10 picks.
I hear what you're saying, and I would agree if I didn't remember what our running back situation was following James Conner. Up until we did what? Drafted Najee Harris in the 1st round. I mean, was that not the conversation?
Well, no, Conner was just getting hurt. Conner was still there.
Right, but it was like, in the sense of like, you could just, whoever, put him in there, right? Like this whole theory of you don't need to have a ton of value at that position and just plug him in.
That was 2019 with Mason, Duck, and all that. It probably would have been different with Ben.
I don't agree still, man. I think of even in Buffalo. They had multiple running backs, and it did not hit the same until they went and bought the 1st-round draft pick with James Cook. That's where you saw that change up there. I feel like you got it. Breece Hall with the Jets. He wasn't no 4th-round pick. This dude, early-round draft pick. And he's changed their offense in the sense of what he could do running the ball. I think you got to spend something if you want to get that quality player. I think if we're looking for like a Band-Aid, what you're saying, yes. But if you want to be able to still run the ball as like a main part of your offense, I think you got to have that guy.
I'm not saying Najee's bad. Like I'm willing to pay him a certain contract here. It's just if you're asking me to pick one between Pickens and Najee, I think Najee's more replaceable.
Nah, respect. I like it, baby. I like it.